Hello traders and welcome at this new Bitcoin trading video. In today's video I would like to cover Bitcoin from local, medium and high time frames. So you will be prepared what to expect from Bitcoin today, next few days and next few weeks. And then we can do order flow analysis and combine with the macro fundamentals. So you see what's the seasonality, what is very likely for asset classes to happen in next few weeks. So it's going to be very complex video. I will not go over my previous trades, so it's gonna be shorter video and it's more concentrated on what can happen next. Yesterday, oh yeah, I just wanted to mention I already start to experiment with Market Monkey. I'm looking for building some public templates. And when I'm finished, maybe in the next few weeks, I will be experimenting and checking Market Monkey. I will share the public templates because this can really be #1 tool to use in the future, replacing many other tools. Okay, they're already in fear, so that's what is likely. And maybe we can have a look just on order flow right now. I wanted to mention you've got this scalp long in the area over here. This was trade I was taking. I already secured take profit 1 on the push and I started recording video. The move was 0.5% because as you can be scalper, day trader and swing trader, oftentimes your day trade is gonna start as a scalp, and scalper advantage is scalper can become risk-free easier because he understands the order flow and reversal locally. What I want to mention, I was pretty much waiting for this area to be swept because yesterday this was only long I took here in the group, and then you've got a short opportunity, so you could be in short during Asia. So you are reaping rewards on your downside as well. And the long here was mainly based on equities reversal of strong open drive, and we did swing value pattern of the London low. But other than that, order flow was pretty weak down here. But you can clearly see why market was pretty much trying to get into this area. We've got multiple lows close together, even this low. Yeah, this was building liquidity. We know many traders in the world will have stop losses behind these lows. So this was right. This was expected for selling into the area. You can also see when I go to VA local, we've got very close to the val, so also opportunity area for some people. But you know, the reversal itself was pretty good because we've got the very large open interest, not open interest. You've got the relative volume spike, 562 million volume traded. Which is 5 times more than we've seen past few hours, so it's really good volume. And you know, if you took the long, yeah, you secured take profit 1 for stop loss 0.5% was enough for that. You know what's extremely important in such trade? I just wanted to mention this. You need to push outside, like it's outside where the big shorts are positioned, because we've had a lot of shorts into the massive walls. Yeah, look at here. So people were bidding here with passive buying market orders, and people were shorting into these orders. Look at the volume spikes, open interest was increasing into them. So what you need to do now, this is not a good sign, by the way, you reject here. So the take profit 1 here was very crucial. But what you need to do now is actually push higher, reclaim VWAP, push outside this high and push higher, and then you will trap and capture shorts into the very local range lows. If you zoom out again, this is where Bitcoin was finding support many times in the past. You don't want to flip this into resistance. You need to reclaim this again and push higher, and then leave this local range into the pretty empty order books. That's what you need to do right now if you were longing in this area. How did I know we will have forced selling behind the lows? Well, of course, most people are trained to put stop loss behind the lows. Yeah, so it was very obvious there will be forced selling, and then it can offer opportunity. Because in the end, we in our group, we teach you to control your risk, of course, but we also seek opportunities where most market is getting stopped out. This is EPA reversals. Yeah, you can see we've got decent absorptions here into the lows, but mainly the longs were getting destroyed in this candle, and you can see where are the big shorts position. They are over here, exactly in this candle. So what you need to do now as a sign of strength is to push beyond this candle, 11,14,000, 225, reclaim VWAP, and then you will have these people trapped, and you will have the fuel. Stay below, look at that, yeah, we rejected exactly at this candle, so stay below, and it's sign of weakness. These people are trying to defend their shorts. If it's low volume market, as is London session, this can happen of course as well. So yeah, sometimes you do this on very high volume, much better volume and longs coming in, like stronger reversal. This was not bad reversal, it was okay, but it could have been better when you would just push over VWAP and over these people. How about, so Binance is extremely crucial, we have big volumes there. And how about Bybit? So Bybit was stopped out big time here, and we don't, like, longs were coming in, that's pretty cool, but we don't have as many shorts in this region as on Binance, but we do have some shorts on Bybit, just a bit higher, so over here. And then we have some trap longs here. Okay, I see. Oh, and we have big shorts here. Let me verify. You always need to verify if you truly have the big shorts or no. You don't just watch blindly net shorts and net longs. You zoom in and you watch if the delta is matching. Now you can turn on open interest. Open interest is increasing, very good sign. So you know new traders are coming into the market. And now 42 million volume traded in this candle, and 31 million is negative delta. If it's a with open interest increase, you know there are new shorts here. So again, you need to push. And if these people were not stopped out as much, like if they are not stopped out with move into the VWAP, then you know you need to move beyond VWAP to trap them and stop them as well. So I just wanted to show you how is market developing. Again, you have a fuel, but you need to just push higher out of this trade. I'm pretty glad I secured the take profit one before the video, yeah, because I can be easily stopped out as well if you return back to lows, and these people will be correct, okay? And you don't have like spot walls here, so you don't have big protection for your entries. Like here, it was very different, like at the lows, at the highs as well. At least passive market participants are stepping in. This passive wall tries to protect the low. That's cool. When you do reversals, you try to see new passive orders also placed in the market, because market orders are always moving market. But passive orders needs to also, there are additional confluence when people are placing passive orders. They can help, right? And you know you lost the range, like local range, and you backtest the lows and you rejected. So again, that's another sign of weakness. You cannot trap the shorts, no power for that, and you also backtested the lows for now. So that's why you need to really secure the take profit one if you were longing in the week into EPR reversal. We will see. At the end of the video, I will check what happened here. If we maybe trap the shorts and squeeze them or no. Okay, so we can start with technical analysis, traders. Will be crucial for us. I will be covering Bitcoin from Friday actually, but not for trades, just for what happened. So you see Bitcoin was pushing into the big highs. Yes, we were consolidating for 20 long days. This was one of the most easiest range I was trading this year actually. It was super easy. Shorting highs, longing lows. Orderflow was actually textbook. Each time we were at lows, we've had very big shorts getting trapped. So we had fuel. At the highs, we've had very big sell walls. We've seen a lot of sell walls actually in our TRDR templates, like people want to distribute profits in 123k. And 120k, there was a lot of pressure, so the range has pretty strong boundaries from sell side, and the lows were getting bought. You know what was the problem for this range, right? If you start lose that range, it's not problem, it's just how market works. Inefficiency was waiting for us here. Almost no volume transacted in the area, and on spot market, not like even on F futures were okay, but spot market almost no volume were transacted here, so it was a matter of time. You will feel this. And you actually, do you know where you stopped? You actually stopped exactly where there was some kind of volume. It was front run, right? I'll be showing you that in a second, because I also want to go over posts I was making. So you will see, yeah, it's going to be at the end. So what is market trying to do right now? We can turn on market structures first. So you see supply resistance. Bitcoin is super volatile asset, so I don't use exact levels. I like to view it as an area. So for me, Bitcoin was finding support for the past 20 days prior to the breakdown from this low, here. So many times people bought here. So now when you flipped this area in the AMT range into the resistance, before you even get to resistance from AMT, which is point of control, high volume node and 20-day val, for continuation short to the downside, you are facing market structure resistance, which is right here. And this is what I told our traders. It's possible we will actually front run AMT and we will find resistance here. My optimal area for short was over here, 116,000. Actually, it got front run. Market is in summer, so you can get front runs of the levels because you have lag of participation. Many people are in the bars, in the beaches, and they are just drinking and eating. Traders are not trading during summer. It's only for, you know, people like me and people who don't want holidays. So we are trading, right? So you see this whole area is flipping into resistance. And if you want to see for the upside, it's just very simple. You just need to push here and reclaim and push to the upside, and then you will be facing AMT resistance, right? So for now, this is expected resistance, and if you are in short, we've got plenty of time to be in shorts. This is encouraging sign for you when you are rejecting here, because you can clearly do. This was one thing I was mentioning yesterday. My idea was we will do swing failure pattern from 116,000, and we do expanded range. We didn't get there as much. And we've got the rejection here. One of the reasons were order books. You can clearly see what is happening. Massive hundreds of millions on the sell side are defending the area. So you could be shorting over here during the New York session, or much higher probability short was during Asia, because you had very little volume. Market tried sniffing and testing the walls. Look at here what happened. This is important. Zooming in. So the wall was 313 Bitcoin. 80 Bitcoin bought into the wall, but the wall actually, someone replenished the wall, because you should actually subtract wall to 220 Bitcoin, but it still has 270. Someone was just defending wall. Look at that, another try, 271 wall, yeah, and now someone is buying 80 Bitcoins into the wall, and the wall is not flinching. What is it telling you? It's telling you someone is protecting here the area, and he's actually replenishing the wall. So this was very, very cool. This is like a textbook, this is fractal situation, which I teach people to trade when you are trying to attack the wall and you are unable to breach it, and actually wall still stands with the same values. Then you have really good advantage. Some whale is defending the area. Plus, even if you would be breaching that big wall, you had another wall behind. So what I think people did, and what I would do if I would be trading Asia, but I was not trading Asia, I was happily sleeping because I don't want to wreck my routine. People were shorting here during Asia. It was also ideal pullback into the trapped longs into highs. And they were placing stop loss behind these walls, like these three walls, or even here, or even behind the high. They are pretty cool. So you see, and these people actually, we feel a lot of buy side. Yeah, look at the buy side. Buy side was filled plenty since the lows, and we can see the sell side is trying to fill, maybe take profits here or just fill new shorts. We don't need to know that, but they are protecting. So during Asia, you had very, very easy short with this, and especially if the volume is low, there is just no power to breach the walls. You can have super tight stop loss. You short it and you enjoy move to the downside. Then you moved into the below DVAP. And we are downtrending. This is still downtrend. That's why I say if you were longing the week with the order flow reversal, you need reclaim of the VWAP. Yeah, because daily VWAP, if market is trending all day below it, it's not ideal. It's bearish day for you. So it's going to be sign of strength for you, and you will trap the shorts. So that's okay. So we went into the order flow a bit, but I just cannot be in technical analysis only. So again, market is rejecting as expected in this area. That's what's expected. Again, don't expect V-shape recovery in the market. V-shape recovery is happening only 10 to 20% of time. Most of the time, it's just healthy ranging. So you come into resistance, you get pullback, you can even get into the low, you create new range, then you reject, then you push. Yeah, it's just how market operates. So for market structures, you need to reclaim this for the upside. Until now, it's still a resistance, but you already got first reaction, so that's cool. And also, from so we were feeling the big inefficiency, fair value gaps, single prints, whatever, you can call it however you want, but you see where did we stop. So some volume support, but also previous all-time high was acting as a support. I just want to remind you, traders, in very strong bull markets, you will be front running every other support, and you can actually react from previous all-time highs. Yeah, like here, I can go to daily time frame. This is fractal. Is happening pretty often, right? This is the new all-time high in March of 2024. Since that moment, we went into the 9-month range. You see what people did? They actually bought the high immediately. We've had so big support here, yes, in the area. Massive range. Why is not there? I don't know. I have levels. So this actually here was much better support. Yeah, with these high volume nodes, everybody got front run who've got limit orders in there. But where did we react? We reacted previous all-time highs. It was actually even front run a bit, yeah. So many people horny to buy the high. I mean, here was the low, but the previous high retest. So you've got a similar situation here. Previous all-time high, and you've got the bullish retest. After you come into this low and you fail with swing failure pattern, you might get into the proper AMT supports from this area. That's what we'll be discussing next. So that's from market structures. What I will be watching for, just from market structures, when we lose this low and you fail swing failure pattern, be aware you can still find support before you get into AMT supports in this zone, in between 110,800 up down to 109k. Yeah, this is also previous high market structure, and in the past it was serious resistance. We resisted it 3 times, so possible we can do something like this without any problem. Yeah, in this area. Ideally, you find range here. It's not V-shape, or you get V-shape and it's gonna be EPA reversal. So from market structures, we are looking like this. And if we go to 1 hour time frame, you need to, this is still resistance, but you've got so many, like you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs, still resistance. But if you come into the area, yeah, you will fail with POC and high volume node of the range retest. Just want to show it like this. If you start coming in the future, it can be next day, next week, next month, whatever, but it will come because Bitcoin is programmed to go to the upside. Then you will be watching for, when you go above 20-day VAH, you will be grabbing the massive liquidity building behind these highs, and you will come over here, and then you will do reversal potentially here and like that. Maybe we do new all-time high as well, so we will be monitoring here. But yeah, this is your idea. You pretty much wait here in this area. You don't want to short these local highs, because you can be easily market can get over you. It's just preparing futures short squeeze, yeah, with such structure, such a downtrending structure. So those are market structures. Let's move into AMT. So now AMT, we are now in 2-day range here, actually even longer. Let me check first. I was because some people have problem how to plot ranges, so I can turn off this. So first I was monitoring this range, this very local range here. We were leaving it, we were actually doing final retest during Sunday of the point of control. Then we left to the upside, so it was bullish. And what I said, our traders, is very likely we will expand the range into the 116,000 and we start ranging here. That's what we are getting. So right now you need to watch this pool. And you can see the val is clearly defending. You can still watch on 50-minute time frame. We will do the secondary pull. Because if you lose this val, you need to pay attention what happened at the low. So you will do this pull. And you will know you have another val and opportunity for long at 112,000 around. Yeah, we have some decent orders there, or perpetual market, so possible you can do this. So you will need to watch these 2 pulls. Okay, and now from AMT, so simple market structure resistance was stopping us here with the orders. If you want to see like your new opportunity area for continuation short is going to be here in this. I need to zoom out. Why it's let's go to 1 hour time frame. I like this. So for me, if I see market pushing decently to the upside, I have this box. And if market really wants to downtrend for the rest of the August, is gonna find resistance in this box. I don't want to see market going beyond these highs. So, because as I said, this is curved situation where you have so much liquidity here. I can show you on Tradingdifferent. Financial juice not, we need Tradingdifferent. Yes. 50-minute time frame, so you see it better. So it's not strictly technical analysis module I'm showing you, but just want to show you everything. So you see here, very local liquidity, but actually once you go beyond 120k, you will be dabbing into the 21-day liquidity shorts build up, so can destroy people here, and you don't want to fight such force. So again, we want to stop in the yellow box. We either can get reaction from 20-day val, but ideally you dab into the point of control retest into the high volume node, and then you get day trade short. Again, you need to be really good in reading order flow, and that's why our group exists. So we learn and teach you when to stay away from the market and when to actually be in the market and take the trade. So it's gonna be really good reward ratio trade, right? If you can have a tighter invalidation behind these highs or behind these highs. But we will see. So that's from AMT, and if you fail with the low, I think this low, if market situation is gonna go down, like equities, if they continue down with some bad data, Bitcoin is fully correlated with equities right now. It has no own narrative. Then you will find and look for supports from, so you can turn on the market structure, and you see the market structure area is aligning for you with the 6-day range VAH, and overall we've got the 6-day range before the impulse to the upside. Or you have much better support, and it's ideal scenario for you. And I'm also having alerts here. 2 weeks range was happening in this area. Yeah, it's looking very, is it 2 weeks actually? 24 June, 1st of July, 7 days. Yeah, this has some mistakes, so it's 7 day. 7 day. 7. Sometimes, because yesterday I was doing big charting, so I can do mistakes. So this is 7-day range, but overall this is a bit stronger range. And in the future, you see you've had massive impulse to the upside, and you have two equal lows here. You can actually dab into the high volume node and push, or you will do full rotation and push. So that's my another scenario if Bitcoin continuously, if it's gonna fail with the more aggressive support area in this box, I will be aiming here. You always need to be prepared where, because you can get, what if Bitcoin does this, yeah? If it's gonna like move to the downside super aggressively and it's gonna skip some supports, then you always need to be ready where to look for trades. Okay, and now we can turn on a medium time frame AMT. This is gonna bring ultimate clarity for you. So we've had 2 months in the range. So what we will be looking for is gonna be bullish backtest of the 2 months range. And high volume nodes we can turn on. So you can see the 2-month high volume node is also aligning with this area, which is more local. Ultimately for me, for swing longs, I will be looking here in this box. It's top of the previous 3-month range, and it's bottom and 2-month point of control and high volume node of the main 2-month range. Yeah, so this is ultimately swing long area for you. Here is more for day trades, then they become swing, but here in this box I'm looking immediately for swing longs, especially if Orderflow is gonna cooperate. Yeah, when I see good signs in the TRDR and stuff like that. Anchor VWAPs, they are already giving us some clues. So as I was showing you area of interest for new shorts from the previous range, you can also combine it with the anchor VWAPs. Right now, all-time high anchor VWAP is up down here, and also full range anchor VWAP is here. So this is like double confluence for you to look for trade. We are trading below, which is not ideal sign for bulls out of this range, so that's good. And the more important thing is happening right now. You are trying to, like, this is the impulse from 98,000, and since that moment we push into the all-time high. So in order for very strong trends, let me just turn on this anchor VWAP so it's not any other VWAPs are not distracting you. But very strong trends, when they are getting born, you hold the retest and then you push. You see, you can spend few hours there and then you reclaim and push. And then right now you see what was happening. That's why we also were longing here. Market tries to defend 1-2 times, but it actually failed, and then we moved to the lower levels. And now there is still very choppy price action around this anchor VWAP. So bulls and bears are fighting for this high time from medium to high time frame impulse to the upside. Yeah. If you want to see more upside, you will be continuously reclaiming the area, so you push to the upside. Yeah, you do this. If you want to see more downside and you want to stay in short, then you want to see my price trending and trading below this anchor VWAP. All right. Any other important anchor view for me? Yes, we have one, because this one was measuring impulse from 93,000. It was collecting volume for a very long time. Here we've got the retest it was holding, so I'm watching this one at 110,000. It's gonna be helpful confluence in the future. This one was not there. This one actually got pretty clean retest as well, and this is also really good. This is like very big band. I will be watching for supports. Order blocks, we have some sell side order blocks above. How is the extension symmetry looking? All right. Because here I was watching trend fib extensions out of this high, low, then pullback, and we've got the one-to-one hit. So you've got people taking profit on shorts already. And if you start going outside of this low, then you have 161 extension to watch for another potential support. Balance zones. So balance zones really precise and good. I will be explaining you how I'm using current one on the local time frame. Here is the local. So this is balance zone you wanted to watch because you've got the all-time high, you've got the low, so you've got the very large range boundaries. You can see Bitcoin was spending most of the time in below 0.5 of the range. And when you leave the range, when you leave the AMT range for whatever it takes, people tend to take profit at 1.5 extension. So this was also not only longs getting in from volume support, but you had people taking profit on shorts here, and they were helping to move to the upside. So oftentimes we are looking for areas where you not only look for longs, but also for reason for shorts to take profit, because I personally also took profit here on the short. I had limit order there. If you look at that clean rejection here, yeah, this is key level, yeah, because balance zones are coming from key levels. Clean retest, boom, down. I showed you very big resistance area, not very big resistance area here, but you can have some precise levels is here, and balance zones are perfect for that. And we call balance zones, they are coming from extensions. They are basically extensions. It's just more better name, and yeah, I love them. I still like to watch them. If you lose this low, it's very simple. What you will be aiming for is going to be one-to-one extension of the full range down here, and from this moment you can actually grab new range here. But I will still prefer we take the low, so you can get invalid, you can get move, extended move for liquidity, then reclaim, and you will be ranging here. Very clean balance zones, and in the future, what you can do, this is what I do always with balance zones. So we go for, I turn on 1.5. And I will use, actually we need just 0.5, 0, and I will do negatives, yeah. So in the future, when if market do full reversal here into the range and comes for the liquidity and doesn't stop and goes for all-time high, you will have symmetry target from the 0.5 into 0.5 at 127. It basically works like this. Everybody who shorted here with leverage and sold on spot is gonna be psychologically rebuying positions back here. They will be following back, and then you get a pullback. That's how it works. You are either prey or you are either hawk. I am hawk. I view this as opportunities. Any other balance zone to mention? Let's see, because I have multiple pulls here. This one. This is coming from previous range. We still wait for target of 125,000. This was not met. We were just watching it if we will do liquidity grab and reverse. How is, by the way, the long going? The long is going pretty well from the week. You can see first shorts are about to be squeezed. You still need, as I said, you need to move here in this candle. Let's go back to Binance. You still need to move beyond this candle here where we have the most shorts. Look at the delta, 57 million, crazy. Yeah, they're still trying to defend, but again, daily view up reclaim, and this candle should lead to accelerated upside. That's how you can actually predict market a bit with the order flow. And you still get the passive market participant protecting the low. He's chasing his very large wall, by the way, 500 Bitcoin wall, fantastic. So he's gonna be protecting my long here. And you can clearly see someone is feeling either massive profit here, or he's just building massive long position. And people are shorting into him. So yeah, you've got the fuel. reclaim VWAP, reclaim the short candle, come to the highs, fail with swing failure pattern, break out, and go into the empty order books, and you've got the easy move for your long. Yeah, so I'll be constantly returning to this trade, maybe one more time at the end of the video. All right, so this pool we don't need as much. This is oh yeah, this is nice pool. I always watch extension ladder, so when I get range here, I'm always watching one-to-one extensions. This is like predicting where will be trend taking pauses. Yeah, when you pause the uptrend. So first one-to-one extension was here. We spent very little time here, but you see in the 2-to-1 extension we actually found very good range. So in this box we've spent how long? Oh yeah, this was from May until June, so it was 6 weeks of range, right? And now we are in another extension ladder box. You see it's not so, it doesn't have to be so precise, but again I'm seeing market is trying to build range in this box. Yeah, that's what matters for me, because I can predict where will be future ranges during uptrend. If I see market is leaving the box and is returning back, then I know the symmetry is broken for the uptrend. We can go for deeper pullback, and again we can actually continue ranging here. Beauty. You see, this is measuring the power of the trend, predicting ranges. Beautiful. Yeah, you see that yellow box. I need to show you extensions, how they work. So look at the green area. This is the most beautiful example how market truly works, how is reverse psychology working, how people FOMOing at highs, selling in fear into the lows. Basically, when Trump got elected, we've got huge key levels and balance zone extensions out of this range. When we broke it down, we went for, I was watching exactly on which extension we will stop. 175, we found support 3 times, and then we bounced to the upside. I remember that very clearly. People were crazy. They were calling 50k Bitcoin. Like, even I had it on table as a bearish, the most bearish scenario, but I was trading what was happening in front of me. So people were calling big targets. Market was in full panic. Many people sold Bitcoin on spot markets as well. And then we reversed to the upside. We reversed back into this range. Many people didn't rebought the Bitcoin when we were returning back into this range. They couldn't believe we are actually getting rally. And people who were shorting into the lows and taking profits here, they also couldn't believe the rally, and they got trapped. And now what's happening here? Once you go beyond 108,000 and you start pushing into the targets, you will have again liquidity, psychological, and so liquidity, psychological, and overall symmetry of the move target over here. Yes, you see over here, and 0.75 reached, and you are getting into the pullback. This is absolutely not random. It was predicted when we are over here. We might get into the pullback. People who go long here, taking profit here. Yeah, because they are reaching symmetry. People who shorted into lows, absolutely, they are getting squeezed out and into the uptrend, and they are now FOMO long into the low. So it's reverse psychology here, and now they are getting trapped. And people who sold Bitcoin below 90,000 with the news and whatever, they are now buying Bitcoin because they are hearing narrative. We go to 150k, 200k. Yes, we can go there if we don't get financial crisis or recession, but it's gonna take time. It's not gonna be 1-2 day candles, 50k push. It takes time. You need to distribute. Yes, so many people own Bitcoin from 2004 and before. They need to distribute, they need to take profit. So again, this was beautiful symmetry. And you've got another like a supportive pull. It's this one, and this is even more precise because this is actually first key levels when the range was forming. So again, wide area, not like you bridged a bit higher, but again, beautiful symmetry you've got there, and moving to into the range, and then into the first pullback on Bitcoin. Yeah, so you've got these double pulls. Then you have much larger pulls, which I can show you at the end of the video, but maybe you know them because you watch me, but I can show. But yeah, massive symmetry. Okay, well, let's see what else we've got. Trap traders. In previous video I was explaining you trap traders. So you see this area gave us 1, 2, 3 longs where 30,000 Bitcoin shorts were trapped. In the end, they all got chance to get a escape, and we moved to the downside. Another area I'm really careful for, we've got very huge open interest increase over here. So if you start going below 107,000, it can actually give us forced selling. So that's why you need to be really vigilant what is going to happen here, because you've got really two options down there in the future. You will either do swing failure pattern after liquidity grab, boom, or there will be massive breakdown. There will be massive breakdown, boom, down. Why? I have very special folder for that, and let me explain it's not concept, it's actually how market works. So what you can do, you can train yourself. You can have one folder where you will be marking yourself the biggest and strongest impulses to the downside and to the upside. This folder is focused on the upside. You see, when Bitcoin is trending strongly in the bull market, we tend to give up full impulses often. We just do that, yeah? Not all the time, but we can do that, yeah? Like this impulse never gave up. Like we just did swing failure pattern from this low and we pushed to the higher. But the more you extend, the more you can return, right? So we did impulse. Market, you see what it's doing? Is actually taking out liquidity out of the impulse. Everybody who was buying in the impulse getting stopped out, or they are panically selling, and they are telling to themselves, it's over, I'm selling Bitcoin. And he's actually just feeling the massive entities who are controlling the market. They are filling their passive orders, and they are just filling them for free, and they don't need to move market, and they are getting easy fills. Okay, so that's what happened here. Same thing here, very big impulse, but you also, you do impulse, but you leave very little order flow and volume support behind. So you can give up many, like big part of the impulse. Yeah, market was giving up everything. And again, symmetry, you move beyond the impulse, everybody thinking is over, selling out, liquidity taken, big reversal. So many people are actually longing here when you are returning back into the above the key level. That's one of the strategy you can also apply. If you are bad with order flow, you will have wider stop loss, so you cannot have higher leverage. You see how everything is interconnected. Today I'm talking very fast. Sorry about this. You can slow me down, but I had a creatine after training, so I think that's why creatine is very good for your thinking as well. You're very sharp. So it's not only for exercise. And now, final impulse. This is right now, past few days, past few weeks. Massive impulse. You see we've left very little support, so Bitcoin is now trying to fill the impulse, and in the future this is going to be very big decision point if you actually repeat similar fractal as in the past, which means you move down, you grab liquidity, reclaim, and then push to the upside. Or this is more worst case when you do the impulse, and for example your macro is crumbling along with Trump, you push to the downside, you breach this low, and you will do massive move to the downside, and you will not even stop beyond here. So you need to be really careful in this area. This is going to be massive long opportunity, or you will need to be defensive, and when you are in short, you will double your profits. So we will be vigilant. We will be like hawks with the order flow, watching if we are taking trade in the future there or not. Okay, let's see what else I can show you. Okay, so we're moving into the, so this is local time frame. We need to move into higher time frames soon. So we have few daily, weekly, and monthly levels. You can just mark them if you want. Naked box. Yesterday we traded the daily naked box. You can see how market was breaching to the upside. Again, in this box, look at that. So for me, this is trade area for continuation short, because I'm seeing we have a 3 weeks high volume node here. We've had a composite naked pog, daily naked pog, weekly naked pog. Here is the weekly naked pog. He's lurking and waiting for us. I think we will get easy scalp, or possibly we will do day trade out of here. You have inefficiency here to be filled, and so I'm definitely monitoring the area. I just want to say, and then we have some box supports below. Key highs and lows. This is what I'm talking about. When you come into the area in the future, you can trade good short here with order flow here, but if you start coming, it's very easy when people have stop losses beyond each high to cascade to each other. So if people getting stopped out in this region, they will start to take out liquidity from these people, and everybody gets stopped out, and then you only get here good short here. So just be careful, because I remember these structures. They are very cheeky, and we know what market tries to do. How is the long going from the week? It's going well, and it starts looking more encouraging, because you already trapped the short, massive short into the lows. You are actually making him support. That's good. Now again, I told you what we need to happen. Daily VWAP reclaim, then moving beyond, leaving local range, and then look for big shorts decrease, and they will be fueling of take profit 1. Take profit 2 was taken already for stop loss, but take profit 2 will be based on shorts getting destroyed. How is the passive market participants? Oh, I see what they are doing. So you see he was also lifting order here. He wanted to be filled. Beautiful long, that's how we start the London, I was giving this trade live and everybody happy. Beautiful. You see equities are going sideways, so I don't even understand why Bitcoin went for the pullback if equities are still decently strong. So this is your opportunity. You cleared many people. Again, EPA reversal, but we went over this already. I don't want to repeat myself. So so let's go further. Liquidity is here. So in the future, liquidity, very key liquidity nodes are here. I will go over liquidity in the Orderflow analysis. It's going to be better for you, so it's separated. Fractal. One thing we need to be aware of for our time frame. Oh, I had this. You see, in the past we did a very big push, but do you see how velocity failed? This is one of the key things over here. You already, people were expecting, yeah, let's get 130k, 135 and plus, but you failed the velocity of the previous move, because market is moving in the fractals. You see how strongly we pushed during Trump. Yes, we did consolidate, but if we were keeping still the uptrend and we never consolidated too much, we continuously breaking higher. So I was just watching the same box over here, and you see here the range was just taking too long, and we failed to repeat the fractal, and the impulse structure was destroyed. What we don't want to see right now is returning back into this 6 weeks range. Actually, so 6 weeks range is here, but you see we were in the range for a very long time, since 22nd of November. If macro fails, Bitcoin actually can do that, and then this is going to be just one massive deviation, and then you will do this, and you will rotate this range again, and we've got opportunity to be long again on Bitcoin for much cheaper prices, but I don't want to go there for now. So we don't have any CME gaps, I think. High time frame volume. Yeah, this is also what you need to watch. So as a swing trader, this was range which we were in for 7 months actually. Yeah, so now you push decisively outside of the range. So for swing traders, your support is waiting at 106,400 and down to 103,000. Yeah, that's really, really good retest of the 2-month high volume node. And you see, as I was showing you, this can actually give us first long area after liquidity grab. I had, if I come here and I do this, you can notice I have the boxes marked swing in this area. So it's for me, it's going to be definitely a swing in this very nice box, because it's also matching big time frame support. And in the future, if this high volume node is lost and we will be feeling the impulse, you will find very likely support here at 98,000. Swing failure pattern from this low into the POC and or this high volume node. I even have some limit orders on spot markets, but I think this is already very strong area. 1.6 to 1.2, 1.3, very, very strong area. I think Kraken has big orders here, like 2,000-3,000 bitcoins. They are very cheeky defending this area already. So yeah, I just want to show you this pool, because you can be zoomed in. As intraday traders, that's our problem. We are zoomed in too much. But yeah, you need to understand what is key support in case we get something like here on the recession or tariffs or whatever, some macro surprise, some negative surprise, which is hard to predict. Let me show you one more thing from the high time frame, because I have many things here. I just don't want this video like super long. 44 minutes just on technical analysis. Okay, then it's gonna be long. What we can do? Market structure, macro cycle. Yeah, that's one thing you can. I just want to mention you. if Bitcoin continuously pushing higher, you see how we do the massive push, then we go into the multi-month range, we do massive push, symmetrical push, then we go into few months of range, then now we are in another box. We will see if the move to the upside fails or not, but the final target of this box is gonna be 166,000 for Bitcoin if you repeat same symmetry as past few years with the one-to-one extensions. And we also have this channel. I use the geometry only on high time frames. I think it's not useful for me to use it on small time frame, because on small time frames you have order flow. Like 90% of decisions are taken from order flow. Why should I use a channel? I don't care about channel. But on high time frames is okay. I told our traders to be ready. So midline, because you've got the channel since 2020, and we've breached this channel finally properly outside it. We were holding retest during Trump crisis. Midline was perfectly rejected 2-1. This was front run 1-2 times. And what you did now, if I zoom in on 4-hour time frame, look at the retest. So not only you are feeling inefficiency here during a weekend, but also midline was providing you beautiful support. You already had 3.5% move. One thing I want to mention for you is to be aware of when you have inefficiency and you are feeling it. Let me show you. I was doing post in the group about this, because I was warning our traders, lose 115,000 or 114,000 and you will be feeling massive inefficiency. You can see also here how we have no volume. So it was a matter of time when you lose 20-day range to fill and populate this area with new volume. Market wants to be efficient. It doesn't like low volume areas. They need to be filled. And this is now the older post. Yeah, this is the inefficiency fill, but I want to show you this one. This was posted on 1st of August. So before, where was actually market 1st of August? It was here. So it was dropping into the inefficiency and then we are bleeding during the weekend. And you can see what I was telling our traders. Let the market fill inefficiency area. Look at these volumes. They're absolutely set. 114,000 to 115,000. There was almost no volume. Look at here. The volume was starting to build around 115, 111 and 500. And now let me show you the magic. Is it magic trick or is just statistics? We stopped zooming out and we stopped exactly at, I need to zoom in a bit, 111,800. So we even front run this volume support, but we filled 97% of the inefficiency in the move. Yeah, then you have another inefficiency here, but we feel 90%. Well, is it not crazy? It's just beautiful, right? So you don't interact with the market in here. It took some time to fill this, but in the end we did. Market very happy. These are my trade areas, by the way. I was showing you already some. So I'm looking for continuation short here. I will be adding to short. Again, order flow decision will be important here, so I don't get stopped out. And then I will stay away. Market is getting too strong, because then I will let the market run all these highs and I will monitor this major liquidity area into the trade area and then all-time high swing failure pattern. So you have like three main areas above. If we don't speak about intraday trading, and below we monitor support areas. I have nice trade area here, which is going to be retest of the previous range, and then previous areas. I will comment on them when they get actual, but I was already mentioning how is support in these areas anyway. So let's have a look on order flow, and this is going to be it from me. Order flow macro and a bit of Ethereum. So you see today's long gave, okay, not bad. Remember Bitcoin, let me show you another thing which is gonna maybe change totally how you view the Bitcoin, but don't underestimate statistics. This is it, yeah. Bitcoin actually tends to be in 1 to 2% days 60% of time. So when you get like 1 to 2% move on Bitcoin, you definitely take some profit of the market, because market can round trip you. Only 38% of days are larger than 1 to 2%. So yeah, this is very, very strong statistics you need to be aware of. You see we did swing failure pattern of the local range, so maybe some take profit needed to be taken here as well. But you've got the trap short, so we can still trap them. What you need to do now is you need to do retest, yeah, of the big short here, This whole candles now needs to hold on pullback and continue higher. That's what we need to flip. That sign of strength for such order flow setup. We need to flip these people into support and don't let them out. Yeah. Okay, order flow. So from order flow perspective is not that hard. Let's go. We can start with order books. So you see, during Asia, you had very easy shorts. I was already explaining you how these walls were holding you. It was sign of weakness. You could not breach the wall. For me, today, I will be looking for new shorts, very easy. So I will be starting to look for new shorts from here. And also from, when I zoom in, again, this is still unresolved. So you've got 1, 2, 3 highs. Swing failure pattern and liquidity grab from 116,000. So in the area, like this is whole area where I'll be looking for shorts. This can give us more local range, but this will be much better reward ratio for you. Move beyond this area and you'll be feeling inefficiency. So it's very binary what I will be doing there. For longs, I already took the long in the week today. So this was perfect. We also closed the naked VWAP close. This was an additional confluence for you. And for new longs, if this actually fails, then I will be watching the AMT and I will be watching that val. We have very close to 120, 112, 500s. Also on Binance, let me show you what happened over the weekend. Look here, we've got the 636 million volume and 200 million delta negative one. Yeah, so an open interest was increasing here. We have massive shorts trapped from the weekend here. So I expect, even if you go for deeper pullback, this candle where these people are trapped can serve as a support, and it's gonna be starting from 113k down to 112, 500. So another order flow support area you can get trade off. And once that fails, you will be watching for weekend swing failure pattern. You already got some nice wall here protecting the entry. You also have like smaller orders here lurking. Maybe it's gonna give us as well. It's start of the trap shorts. Yeah, so someone is already placing orders above them. It's also top of the local range, like very local range during the weekend. So you can monitor this area as well. Trap shorts, then weekend long. And what is really cool, there will be so many long opportunities. And I told our traders, so you see I do analysis on perpetuals, but I also need to do spot market separately and combine it together. Spot market is also giving us very clear resistances. The best shorts actually will be here in the 117,500. You've got many spot sell walls. Like this whole area is massive resistance still for the Bitcoin, and this was also reason why we were bleeding down, because the supply was so high in the sell orders. There was no volume to breach higher. That's why we created such a structure. And I told traders, and I think on the previous video, the drop below 115,000 will be controlled drop. You should not expect like big negative candle, because order books were very populated here. Like so many spot walls were filling here, and people in our group were also trading counter trade longs with these walls. Very controlled drop. Someone filled big position, and we are reversing. Yeah, so ideally, like this week, I would expect the range to be formed in this where actually spot is allowing us. So this is the boundaries of this week, maybe highs, and you have some lows to be done from weekend. Maybe even in the higher area as explained, and then down to 110 to 111k, which is another round of support. I'll be showing you very big demand is there. I still love Okotoki because in a few seconds I can see where market is aligning big time for supply and resistance nodes. Look at that. So spot is pretty empty up to 119,000. Yeah, pretty empty. If spot, like big buyers on spot.com, they will be facing and they will be going into the perpetual sell walls, but you can see they are still holding us. So very fed sell side is here. And on the buy side, we can see proper support starts for Bitcoin much lower on the spot markets. 111k defended, and then 110k also defended. So this whole area is going to be future support for you in case we go beyond the weekend volume. Leverage is also bidding here. Bitstamp also bidding here, very interesting. Kraken starts to bid in this area, very lot of demand in here. And now we can watch this visually in TRDR. This is now separate analysis with TRDR, so let's start. Need to delete arrows. Well, you can see on TRDR, I currently don't have much advantage from our main template with the bands, because the spot market is neutral, is more a bit negative, but it's still neutral. Perpetuals are trying to be positive, so because we've seen those walls below, but only 0 to 5% is also like pretty negative. Yeah. So yeah, order books very neutral. It's very hard to. This is indecision in the market. It's very balanced here, so we don't have an advantage. We will have advantage when we push much further to the upside. We will have sell bands, or we push to the downside. We'll have buy bands. Same like here. These bands were coming from Binance, and they stabilized the market. So you don't have advantage from this template. Sometimes it happens. It's okay. We've had so much aggregated selling into these lows with open interest increasing. If you start reclaiming 117,000, we can easily rotate to the back of the. Like if you fail with the trade area, you can actually rotate the range with so much fuel. But we will see. Liquidations, nothing special. Open interest, you see how we experienced full round trip. It was extremely, like it was increasing big time as we are moving down. Those were big shorts, and now as we started pushing to the upside, open interest was decreasing, so this move to the upside was mainly short squeeze, and we stopped exactly when the fuel was spent, when you did the round trip from here. Yeah, there was not enough shorts to be squeezed, so you simply went for the pullback. So your short during Asia or during New York was pretty cool. This template is showing us again mixed order books, no big bands. It's showing us Binance spot market. Again, you see the sell side is very heavy in this, pretty much trade in this box. And these regions are defended. We'll refresh. You see how market was slowing down the fall. This is when we traded swing failure pattern as well, like Kraken was big time buying here. And then lots of buying activity, and the passive market was slowing down the fall for Bitcoin. There is simply a lot of demand even as we are dropping. And you see open RSI got extremely oversold, but I need to turn on the exchanges I don't like. I need to save it then after. First time after many weeks we actually got such oversold condition on open interest. Last time it was here and here. We found lows big time. So again, us stabilizing during the weekend is not a surprise. So perpetual market's very clear. This is again area where I'll be looking for shorts today. It's more visually looking. You can see it easier here. And then we've had those very interesting demand, but smaller walls in the area. Further below, closer to the weekend lows. And on the spot market, again big sell side, but further in these regions. And spot is now cheeky and is trying to defend the 111k area. So when you lose this low, you can actually move here and swing failure pattern, reclaim the low and return back to the range with such walls. And what are the whales trying to do? You can see what the whales are doing. They are still playing the range. I told our traders yesterday the whales are trying to force us into range from these regions, and that's what we got. Yeah, look at that sell side and continuously pressuring market. And you can see them here. Yes. A bit of whales were filled, but there's nothing special. And still whale defending 110k in the future. I just need to return back to Ethereum, and that's going to be it. I just want to say, like, I was right on the pullback. Not many people call this precisely, but again, I just want to remind you. I would say Ethereum tops out in 3,800 to 4,150 area. This was posted long time ago, like 21st of July, because the order books were changing, hundreds of millions added on the sell side. We first went to the fullback, pushed to the highs again, and then we reversed from these walls exactly. And again, pressure is the largest pressure since like past 8 months. So many Ethereums are in 4,000 area, ready to be, like people will be absorbed when they will be buying into them. So it was statistical pullback with the TRDR. Even when you skip these highs, they should be taken out later on. But yeah, let me check how is Ethereum doing right now. Yeah. You see how we skip this, and since the moment I identified potential reversal on Ethereum, we've got, this was the first pullback I identified, it was 8%, and then you've got another 13% move to the downside. All right, so you see order books are extremely powerful. Please learn them. And you see even here AMT was pretty cool. Right now I don't even have like super market levels, but you'll reject from the main val on the top. Rejection, you've got the trade, plus you've got the scalp here, like you've got the long here from the POG and val, and it was lost. Very easy market. In terms of macro, make sure to watch when I go to 50-minute time frame. As I said many times in the past, I don't think Bitcoin will drop on its own. It's gonna drop with the macro. It's going to rise with the macro. Look at the big declines that we've got from 119,000 down to 111. This was all happening thanks to Friday, when we had a jobs report. And the jobs report was showing first cracks in US economy. First time after a long time, people are losing jobs in US. Remember, if people start losing the jobs, they don't have money to spend. If you don't spend in our current system, which is addicted on spending, the corporate earnings will go down. So companies make less money, and you will have higher unemployment rates, and consumers overall will be purchasing less stock, less goods. Yeah. And now this is leading to slowing down of the economic activity. It can actually result in weakening of the housing market, because people have problem to pay for their houses. So houses going down in price, and it's now a vicious circle where you start recession or financial crisis, and people will be, the Fed will be lowering rates. The Fed will try to stimulate the economy. In the end, they will start printing money, and then we will have another cycle. This is happening past 50 years. So pay attention to macro. We've got really nice move to the downside on Friday. I think market is now eagerly waiting for new jobs reports data. We were getting weekly ones, the smaller ones, but the most important one is coming once a month, which was like last Friday. Bitcoin is not trading on its own. It's dependent on macro situation. That's why when I recognized this in 2021, I started heavily educating on macro fronts. It's also needed for investing and hodling, so you nail the cycles. When you understand how current financial monetary system works, you can be a very efficient hodler and investor and trader as well, because you can hold swing trades for a long time and you will not be going against the big flows. Final thing I want to say, I use seasonality, just is like additional confluence. We have you already know, but I told our traders, I mentioned this in YouTube videos. July tends to be very green month for Bitcoin. You can see median is like 7.6%, but August tends to be negative for crypto and for Bitcoin. We pretty much give up all July gains in August. Maybe we will not give up all of them, but we tend to have negative months. And it's coming from seasonality. Yes, this is coming from seasonality. So when we go, that's why we have macro fundamental section. It's coming from seasonality because the August is when most people are on holidays, especially traders. So markets are flat or neutral. Crypto doesn't have a liquidity coming into the system, so it's also neutral or negative. And September tends to be the worst month for the stock market, and very likely it will affect crypto. So if you have like big shorts from 125,000 or 120k, you better keep some exposure as hedge in case we get further declines. I would be so happy to get Bitcoin at 105,000, 100k, even lower. So bring it on, bring it deep, I will be happy. We might not get it, but again, seasonality is showing this. Final reminder, we have, this is global M2 money supply, and global M2 money supply is actually declining. Let me check how it's looking right now as we speak. So we go here, global M2, daily time frame. Yeah, there was a decline. So I think that's another reason why Bitcoin also declined. This is a bit esoteric, yeah, because this is delayed as well. But the Bitcoin just goes up because the main purpose of Bitcoin is to, if you are diluting money in the system, Bitcoin is gonna increase. If I zoom out, look at that, yeah, boom, like this. Sorry, I'm on S&P 500, but it's okay. I can be on S&P 500 anyway, and this is really good indicator. Let me check who is actually making this, so you can add it to your chart. Global M2, where are you? Here you are. Global M2, it's from Board Risker. What I recommend you to go to settings, you can do, it's gonna show you future liquidity for next 10 weeks. Is about how central banks are planning to print the money. I like to keep it in between. I like to keep it also on 0, is okay. It's actually offsetting future a bit, yeah. Some people use this with the 10 week ahead, like, but I'm watching this at 0 often. I only watch USA, Eurozone, China, Japan, United Kingdom. Other countries I don't care because they are not important. These countries are affecting the economy, especially US market, the most important, and China, and then you have the other economies. Currently we see global M2 is going down, so people, like, especially after Fed, we've had a dip to the downside. Liquidity in the system is not increasing as much, so risk assets as equities and Bitcoin are just going sideways, or they start to go into the pullback. If this continues to the upside, yeah, we can catch up. There are some delays as well. You need to explore. Sometimes we, like here, yeah, 2022 we started pushing to the downside. It was correlating with pushing to the downside on equities. It's very complex. I made like 1 to 2 hour long video in a swing course, which I'll be releasing in August for our traders, so they understand macro better, because you can watch also other economic indicators. All right, traders, very packed video. How is long going? You see long it become day trade, but it failed to reclaim this without swing failure pattern. You definitely has secured some take profit extra. Trap shorts, we will see. Thank you for watching, traders, and see you. If you want to educate with us, just join us and learn with us, trade with us. Bye, traders. Bye.